Hello and welcome everyone to Corlu's Tiebreaker Statue of Liberty Documentary Edition. In this video I will cover the history of the Statue of Liberty from the very beginning all the way up until modern day. So let's go ahead and get started. Back in 1865, a Frenchman by the name of Edouard de Lebier proposed the idea of presenting a monumental gift from the people of France to the people of the United States. As an avid supporter of America, Lebier wished to commemorate the centennial celebration of the Declaration of Independence, as well as celebrate the close relationship between France and America. When Lebier made his proclamation, sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartoli was in attendance and later began conceptualizing the colossal structure that would soon be known as the Statue of Liberty, enlightening the world. Bartoli's design encompassed much symbolism. Her crown representing light, with its spikes evoking sun rays extending out to the world, the tablet inscribed with July 4th, 1776 in Roman numerals, noting American independence, and to symbolize the end of slavery, Bartoli placed a broken shackle and chains at the statue's foot. Fundraising and bringing people together have always been integral to Lady Liberty's history. It began with efforts to finance this unprecedented undertaking. France would be responsible for creating the statue and assembling it in the United States, while the American people would fund and build the pedestal. In spite of spirited efforts early on, fundraising for the pedestal was progressing slowly. To spark public action, in 1885, Joseph Pulitzer placed an ad in his paper, The New York World, inviting readers to donate to the cause. In exchange, Pulitzer printed each donor's name in the newspaper. The public rose to the challenge, with 120,000 people donating over $100,000 and securing the remaining funds needed for the statue's pedestal. Meanwhile, in France, Bartholdi required the assistance of an engineer to address structural issues associated with designing such a colossal copper sculpture. Alexander Gustave Eiffel, just prior to creating his famed tower, was tasked with designing the massive iron pylon and secondary skeletal framework that would allow the statue's copper skin to move independently yet stand upright. Construction of the statue was completed in France in July of 1884. The massive sculpture stood tall above the rooftops of Paris, awaiting her voyage across the Atlantic. Back in America that same year, architect Richard Morris Hunt was selected to design the statue's granite pedestal, and construction would soon begin. For its transatlantic voyage aboard the Aire, the statue was reduced to 350 individual pieces and packed in 214 crates, and the ship arrived in New York Harbor on June 17, 1885. While awaiting construction of its pedestal, the statue remained in pieces on what was then called Bedloe's Island, which is now known today as Liberty Island. The pedestal was completed in April 1886, and on October 28th of 1886, U.S. President Grover Cleveland oversaw the dedication of the statue in front of thousands of spectators. In the 1980s, when the statue was restored for its centennial celebration, a team of experts determined that the original torch could not be restored. Over a century of modifications had radically altered Bartholdi's solid copper flame to one mainly of glass. Leaks from rainstorms over the years and corrosion from the elements had damaged the original torch above the handle beyond repair. It was removed on July 4th, 1984, and replaced with a replica that followed Bartholdi's design. The Statue of Liberty was designated as a national monument in 1924, and employees of the National Park Service have been caring for the statue since 1933. Today, the original torch is on display in the Inspiration Gallery of the Statue of Liberty Museum. This is where I insert my own personal experience into this. From my own experience, the Statue of Liberty is it's awe-inspiring. It's a beautiful, beautiful monument. And it's definitely worthy of taking the time and spending the money to get the tickets, to be able to go. And one thing we learned was that you have to buy the tickets to go into the crown of the Statue of Liberty, like way in advance, or you won't be able to go up into the crown, which was an awesome viewpoint. I definitely recommend, if you have the ability to do that, to go for it. You will not regret it. Um, and if you are traveling to New York, even in the midst of this pandemic, obviously I encourage you to be safe. But while you're at it, I highly recommend that you go visit the Statue of Liberty. You will learn a lot just from being there at the statue, um, going into the museum, and walking around the building over there at Ellis Island after you take the little boat ride over there. And trust me, I know, God knows this for sure. You'll spend lots of money on merchandise while you're there, especially if you don't really plan on going back anytime soon. Because I sure did that. Um, but yeah, some of these pictures that I'm including here at the end are pictures that I actually took, from when I visited the Statue of Liberty, with my family, about 5 or 6 years ago. Crazy to think it's already been that long since we were there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for your continued support of my YouTube channel that I do entirely for free, just for fun on the side. So until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy out there. Love you all. God bless.